We are tossing back to Kyle in the Weather Center because all kinds of havoc is being wreaked, right?
Yeah, that's right, Paula. We're out ahead of a cold front, and we've had several severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings this afternoon. The newest tornado warning is just on the southeastern edge of the viewing area in McDonough County. This does include Industry, which just had a tornado just a couple of weeks ago. So this is for southeastern portions of McDonough County until 3:45. And no tornado has been sighted, but Doppler radar has been indicating some rotation right around the Industry area, along with a lot of heavy rain and lightning, as well as some hail up to the size of quarters or larger. So we're going to continue this warning until 3:45. We also have a warning out for portions of Henderson and Warren County, and this storm has a potential for 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1-inch hail, but we're also concerned between Monmouth and Roseville right here on Highway 67 of the potential for some rotation. So Kyle Dickens is running radar right now, so if we can go over to velocity.
We have a new tornado warning for Henry and Mercer County.
Okay, we are going to stay on the air right now because we have a new tornado warning for Henry and Mercer County. This is in effect for, what's the timing on this, Kyle?
Okay.
All right, so let's get this tornado warning here on the air. We have this tornado warning that continues for portions of Henry and Mercer County until 4 o'clock this afternoon. So this includes Cambridge, Orion, as well as Geneseo. So if you are in these areas, you need to seek shelter right now. Looks like right around the Orion and Andover area, just right along Interstate 74 is where the strongest part of this storm is. And again, this is the potential for not only the tornado, but also hail up to the size of golf balls and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So Joslyn, Geneseo, it's likely very, very dark. Now is the time to get in your shelter place. Lowest level of your home. If you have a basement, that's the best place to be. You also want to make sure that if you don't have a basement, we need you to get into an interior room with no windows. Just put as many walls between you and the outside as possible.
Okay, we have a spotter that is on the storm, and there is circulation being indicated at just here west of 74. And you can see we're getting the storm to start to kind of curl in a little bit. What we're going to do here is we're going to check what we call velocity. I'm going to take the lightning data. We know that there's a lot of lightning in this storm, folks, but we want to take this and show you what we're watching here. And right in this area here is an area right there. It was near the Swedona area where we're seeing some circulation. Looks like we could see a couple areas of circulation along this line, so we're going to kind of broaden that out. So right in this area here, folks, you need to be in shelter. We're going to put a track on this. This storm is moving to the northeast at 45 miles an hour, and here we are with some of the same areas that were just hit a couple weeks ago, especially the Geneseo area. So this is moving to the northeast at around 45 miles an hour. We're going to put this track out there. Give me 1 second. And you can see if your town is on there, take shelter now. So Orion High School here within, actually right now, it's going to be on top of Orion High School, Andover here at the 3:30 mark, 3:35 Cambridge, then eventually off towards Atkinson at 3:48. Take shelter now. This is a dangerous storm. We've got some indication of a radar indicated tornado here near Swedona. So Route 150 here is where that area circulation continues. We're going to zoom in close and get you some streets and show you where you need to go. The area right now appears to be right over top of Orion. Kyle, would you agree to that?
Yes.
This area circulation.
So right around Knoxville Road, that's where we do get that indication of rotation here. So it's about to cross over 150. So if you're in Orion, be in your shelter place. Andover, Cambridge, Geneseo, you all need to be in your shelter place now. It might be quiet right now, but things are going to get pretty noisy in a hurry as this storm is making its way off to the northeast at about 40 miles per hour.
So the danger right now, there we go with an update, and we're noticing a tightening circulation here near 150. So County Highway 7 and near 81 and County Highway 7, 150 and then 81 is kind of the apex there of where we're seeing. I'll point this out here for you, folks. This is where we're seeing the area of circulation right here. So you see that where we're seeing those brighter colors match up to the red? That is the area of circulation there. It's getting ready to cross 150. It's going to be really near Orion. So if you're in Orion now, you need to be in your basements now. Off to the east here we go, and over there, then up towards the Cambridge area. You folks need to be taking shelter now. Tornado warning continues for your area, and Kyle's showing another product here. This is how heavy the rain is. Definitely, this storm is really increasing in intensity, and we don't like to see that hooking. We always talk about this hook echo, and you can see that little comma shape on the back end of this in the area that we're watching for that circulation, something that's very concerning.
Yeah, very concerning indeed. And we're also concerned for golf ball size hail. So this has multiple threats. Not only are we concerned about a tornado, but we're concerned about some golf ball size hail. Looks like right there around 150, we're getting that tennis ball to golf ball size hail with 1.6 inches in diameter being indicated on our radar. So this is about to cross Interstate 74 into the Andover area. So if you are in these locations, you need to be in your shelter place right now. Again, we want to keep you out ahead of this storm, so we'll put a track on this as it continues off to the east-northeast at about 40 miles per hour. This will be in Cambridge at 339. Geneseo, we've been mentioning you multiple times, 345. Atkinson at 351, and Anawan right around 357. So I know this is a time when many students are getting out of school. Hopefully the schools are kind of rallying students to get back in if they are still outside. Oh, wow. So this is not coming in at a good time, Kyle.
Yeah, looking at an update here on Max 2. We don't have to take it. Let's stay with Max 1. But I'm just looking at something else here. We're noticing that this is really tightening up here, and you can see that area here. Look at that. That is definite. Looks like we got a circulation, broad circulation at that. Doesn't look like we have a tornado on the ground, but folks, we're in an environment, especially as these storms continue to progress off to the east. We're getting into more richer air. It's warmer. It's a little more humid. And look at this whole area right here is the area of rotation. So right here we've got, is that 150? That's 150 there. Yeah, 150, and then look at that little max area there. That's concerning. So this whole area is a broad rotation. That is why we have this tornado warning in effect, and this includes Andover, this includes Cambridge, up to Orion. Orion, I think the threat is now sliding to your east. But now we're starting to really see this spike out here. Again, it not only is the threat there for tornadoes, we just saw a new warning issued too for severe thunderstorm warning, Kyle, to include southern parts of Henry County. So here the entire, all of Henry County right now under some type of warning, with a chunk here into central parts of Henry County under that tornado warning. So if you know anybody that's traveling right now on I-74 in Henry County, get off, take shelter now. This is getting ready to cross I-74. Also, eventually here, I-80 as well. You want to get off if you're heading westbound, say out of Atkinson, get off in Geneseo if you can, or get off in Atkinson. If you're heading eastbound out of the metro, stay put for a while, let these storms pass, because again, on top of the threat of a tornado, we're seeing good-sized hail with this as well, and lots of lightning in that as well. Heavy rain is also a threat too, something we don't talk about much, but blinding rainfall if you're caught out in that. So. And
that new severe thunderstorm warning you were just mentioning, Kyle, that is for portions of Henry, Mercer, and Warren County, and that goes until 4:15 for 60-mile-per-hour winds as well as 1-inch hail. So Cambridge, you're currently under two different warnings right now. One for this tornado warning that we were just mentioning, and the other for this storm out toward Alexis, so between Alexis and Viola. That storm has a potential to produce 60-mile-per-hour winds as well as 1-inch hail and the possibility of a tornado. So that tornado warning that we were just talking about in Henry County does continue. It's for a radar indicated tornado. This goes until 4 o'clock, and the severe thunderstorm capable of producing the tornado was located over Lynn Center, just 7 miles west of Cambridge, continuing to move off to the northeast at 40 miles per hour. So right now we have not had any confirmation of a tornado. I haven't had any confirmation of the large hail that we're anticipating, but notice just to the west of Cambridge, that's where we have that hail core where we could get hail up to the size of quarters. And of course, we continue to track that potential for a tornado. Looks like right over I-74 is where we'd have that broad rotation, as we were just mentioning. There's Cambridge there on the right side of your screen. So this storm is continuing to move off to the east at 45 miles per hour. So Cambridge, Andover, Atkinson, Geneseo, you all need to be in your shelter place as this severe thunderstorm this tornado warning continues to move off to the east at about 40 miles per hour. We continue with this kind of broken line of some storms here that are severe warned. So we'll get you a quick update here on this warning heading out of Clinton County into portions of Whiteside and Carroll County in Illinois. That's where we have 60-mile-per-hour winds as well as the potential for 1-inch hail. This storm is right over Thompson, staying just to the east of Savannah. So right around Mount Carroll, getting some very strong indications of some gusty wind as well as some very heavy rainfall. Lots of lightning with these as well. And you notice the last last couple of frames, we continue to see an uptick in the lightning. So these storms are only getting stronger as they continue to move east into a very favorable environment. We continue with the severe thunderstorm warnings here, and again, a tornado warning in southeastern portions of McDonough County. That continues until 3:45. This storm has had the history of potentially producing some very large hail as well, so we'll continue to keep an eye on all of these storms.
Yeah, if we could take Max 2 control room, I'd like to show this here. We got a little bit different product that we have loaded up here. Right now, we've got a spotter here on 74 that says that they see a very large lowering and rapid rotation. I'm going to look here and see if we've got that issued to the Weather Service. They're in contact with the Weather Service. You can see the area we're watching here is just to the east of Orion right now. So this is a very sharp indication. You could see right there. I'm going to put the right marker on, though. You can see right in that area. That is the area we're seeing the rotation. That is the hook echo. You hear us talking about this hooking or the hook echo. Well, this is it, folks. It doesn't get much clearer than this. You can see this is the area we have hail, heavy rain, a lot of lightning. I turned the lightning off because you can't really see anything with it on, but that is up to Geneseo. So right now, if you're in Geneseo on Interstate 80, you're dealing with a lot of heavy rain. This is probably the area right here where we're seeing the hail, but right here, getting ready to cross 74 where we have a spotter, that is the area where we're starting to see some rotation. Getting it confirmed now by trained spotters that right here we have a lowering and some rotation. What we're seeing here, we call this an inflow notch. So we have the warm southerly air is starting to get kind of wrapped up into that area there. That's where the updraft is, and this is the area where we're seeing the heavy rain. This is the downdraft. This is not what we want to see. So Geneseo, anybody off to the northeast here, again, the danger right now appears to be north of 81, getting ready to cross 74, north just barely to the north of Andover, but Cambridge, Geneseo, Atkinson, shelter now.
Yes, this tornado warning does continue until 4 o'clock for those areas that you were just mentioning, Kyle. And we also continue with that severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Mercer and as well as Henry County. That's that storm just to the south that we're concerned about as well. For mainly hail threat and wind threat, but there is also that tag of a tornado possible. We also have a new warning out here for portions of Knox County. This goes until 4 o'clock as well. This is a severe thunderstorm warning, and that is for the possibility of some hail as well as gusty wind. So we're going to continue to watch that for a quarter-inch hail as well as gusty wind until about 4 o'clock. So this one is just to the west of Galesburg. So Galesburg, you're likely seeing some dark skies here as this storm continues off to the east at about 40 miles per hour. So we'll put a track on that as well. Again, this is just for the southern part of this kind of broken line of storms. It'll be in Henderson just about 5 minutes from now at 3:38. Galesburg at 3:40. Knoxville 3:48, Galva heading into southern Henry County around 3:57, and Goshen around 4:07.
Yeah, if we go to Max 1.
So yes, Max 1 please. And you can see again, those are the towns on your screen that are in the path of this storm here, heading from portions of Henderson County into from portions of Warren County rather into Knox County. So again, this storm is tracking off to the east at 45 miles per hour, producing 60-mile-per-hour winds, and the potential of hail up to the size of quarters. I just got a new warning out here for portions of Carroll County as well as Whiteside County. This goes until 3:45. This includes Fulton and Thompson. This is for the potential of 60-mile-per-hour winds as well as hail up to the size of quarters. And once again, there is a tornado possible out of this one as well. So we're going to continue to watch this here as it tracks off to the northeast at 45 miles per hour and eventually outside the viewing area. So Mount Carroll, you are getting hammered right now with some heavy rain. So Chadwick, Milledgeville, Cherry Grove, you need to be in your shelter place right now as this storm continues to move off to the east at 45 miles per hour.
So we continue with that tornado warning, Kyle, here for Henry County. This tornado warning continues until 4 p.m. 3:33, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Osco or near Cambridge. This continues to move off to the northeast at 40 miles an hour. So right now the damage or the threat is near the Cambridge area. I'm noticing the rotation continuing here. We're getting a better indication of this on radar, and it continues to be just to the north of the Cambridge area here. Right now, to give you some streets, folks, along this area here, the threat is just right now to the west of 82. That's the area we're seeing the circulation. Looks like west of 82 and along North 1400th Avenue is where the is west of that area. There is where we're seeing the circulation. So better cross street would be North 1400th Avenue, and let's get in here. And let's see, East 900th Avenue and North 1400th Avenue is where we're seeing that circulation. So we continue with that regardless. Anybody in this warned area, this includes Geneseo, Atkinson, eventually, not including the Anawan area, but heads up Anawan, this is heading towards you. And really, there's no indication that this thing is going to weaken. We can only hope, but it continues to strengthen here. We continue to see this hook echo on radar. That's the concern, and also velocity continuing to show. What Kyle's got circled there is what we're watching. So continue with this storm here, and Kyle, you're going to track it out there.
Yes, I'm going to track this out real quick. Again, it's moving off to the east, ever so slightly northeast at about 40 miles per hour. So this will be around Geneseo at 347, Atkinson around 356. So luckily a lot of open areas, but if you are in Atkinson, in Geneseo, you need to be in your shelter place now. I know this is coming at a bad time because I know many kids, students have activities after school. Hopefully the schools are heeding caution here with this tornado warning and getting the kids to their safe place. But now is not the time to head out and get your kids. Now is the time to take shelter. Again, we have that tornado watch that continues until 8 o'clock for a good chunk of the TV6 viewing area. And this is again for the possibility of tornadoes as well as hail up to the size of potentially golf balls, as we've been indicating here by the Doppler radar. Again, we have multiple warnings going on right now, so we'll take another look at First Alert Live Doppler radar and give you a loop here on what's going on. Again, multiple warnings with this broken line of storms. That tornado warning for McDonough County has been canceled as that now is moving into portions of Fulton County outside of the TV6 viewing area. Looks like we might be continuing to see these storms strengthen here as they move off to the east at about 40 miles per hour. So right now it looks like the bulk of the activity is just east of the Quad Cities. And in fact, I'll pull up sky view here and you're going to be able to notice the dark skies looking off to the east as really the threat of any severe weather kind of shifts off to the east of the Quad Cities as a cold front does approach. So yeah, live sky view showing those dark skies here, looking at that severe thunderstorm and tornado warning off in the distance into portions of Henry County. So certainly looking dark there as our tornado watch continues until 8 p.m. And of course our tornado warning for portions of Henry County continuing until 4 o'clock this afternoon. Still not getting indications of any tornado, but as Kyle's been mentioning, there is a storm spotter that's noticing a lowering in this storm and potential rotation here near the Cambridge area, just north of the Cambridge area. And of course this storm has a lot of lightning with it as well. And real quick, I want to check the hail because we have that hail core that's going to travel right along 82 there between Geneseo and Cambridge. So again, right around North 1500th Avenue, heading toward East 1300th Street. That's where we are going to see that hail core with hail up to the size of quarters or larger, with the potential of hail up to the size of golf balls within this storm. So again, we're concerned about a tornado, golf ball size hail, and 60-mile-per-hour winds with this tornado warning in Henry County.
And we're getting some confirmed reports here of golf ball sized hail in the that was just a little bit ago in the Orion area. So thanks to Carl for sending that picture in. I'm sure we're going to see some damage too, unfortunately. But again, we continue with that. The area of hail concern, I would say, is going to be in the Geneseo area, and we continue with this area of rotation down here just along or north of 82. Or excuse me, along or north of North 1400th Avenue. Not quite to 82 yet, but we're getting there. So again, off towards Geneseo and Atkinson, shelter now. The area of concern appears at this time to be just to the north of Cambridge. So Cambridge, you're going to get into some heavy rain, maybe some hail, but heads up Geneseo and Atkinson, you folks are in line. Again, we mentioned if you know or are listening to us traveling right now on Interstate 80 out of the metro, get off and say you're eastbound, get off and let the storm pass through. If you're heading westbound, say out of Anawan, get off because this thing is going to be crossing Interstate 80. Also, Route 6 goes through Geneseo over towards Anawan. Those roads you want to be careful on. Also here on, let's see here, what is this, 82, Route 82. Yep. Heads up there too. But we continue with the circulation here. Very close to North 1500th Avenue is where we're seeing that circulation now.
And we're going to continue to keep a close eye on it. Luckily, it doesn't look like a tight circulation, but nonetheless a circulation with confirmation of a lowering in portions of Henry County as this storm continues to really cause some major issues here now with the confirmation of some golf ball size hail. And we also have some photos that some of our viewers have been sending in, and this is one photo here out of Orion. So looks like that is about the size of golf balls there. She's got some sort of ball there that is indicative. Looks like that's a golf ball. So yeah, about golf ball size hail out of Orion, and this is the same storm rather that is moving off into portions of Henry County. So if you are in the Geneseo area, this is what's likely coming to you. Atkinson, this is what just moved through the Orion area. So that photo was taken moments ago, what you just saw of the golf ball size hail. So again, this tornado warning not only has the threat of a tornado, but it also has that threat of large hail and some damaging wind gusts. So again, if you are in this tornado warned part of the storm, even the severe thunderstorms, you want to go to the lowest level of your home. Of course, the best place to be during any sort of tornado or severe weather situation is going to be the basement, but we understand that many people may not have a basement. So anywhere in green, that's a good place to go. A hallway, maybe a staircase away from windows, a bathroom, anywhere without windows is going to be the best place to be, and you want to stay, really put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Take something to cover your head just in case there is flying debris with this tornado warning. So again, no tornado has been confirmed, but we continue with the potential for that rotation just to the west of Geneseo, southwest of Geneseo.
If we take a look, we'll take a look at radar here, full screen, and kind of look at the wide view. You can see this line here tracking from the Savannah area all the way down into the Peoria region. Embedded in this line, we've got several severe thunderstorm warnings right now, but the biggest concern continues to be this tornado warning for Henry County. This is in effect until 4 o'clock. You can see there, if your community is on the map here, shelter now. Again, Geneseo, the heaviest of the hail and rain is now making its way into Geneseo. We've had reports of golf ball sized hail out in the Orion area, getting a lot of pictures and reports in. We appreciate those. Atkinson, getting your shelter now. Eventually up towards the Hoople area, you're not in the warning officially, but this storm is going to continue to trek your way. Moving down the line here too, there's a storm near the Galesburg area that we want to watch. There is a warning in effect here for northwestern Knox County, and you can see it's a little concerning there. We don't have the tag that says tornado possible, so that's good news. But seeing a lot of lightning there from Henderson down towards Galesburg, moving through 74, eventually off towards let's see here, Watauga, and then Oneida, and then eventually off towards the Galva area, moving into parts of Kewanee eventually as well. So this whole complex really starting to come together here in Knox County, Henry County. So we might be kind of transitioning maybe into a more damaging wind threat. I don't know, Kyle, if we're still seeing that rotation there, but he's putting a track on this. You can see this whole line pretty much from the northern part of our viewing area to the south is severe warned. So you folks in Sterling Rock Falls, you've got top of the hour, you need to be in shelter by then because that's going to be moving through Mount Morris here at 410, Dixon area 415, 413, 415, Princeton here about 423, and eventually off into the Chicagoland area into Rochelle. So here, this line, this is going to kind of be the focal point moving forward. So from Knox County up towards Henry County into Whiteside, Carroll, and then also into just clipping Joe Davies County. Severe thunderstorm warnings, and then again that tornado warning here into Henry County. That goes, that warning in effect until 4 o'clock, and we continue to see maybe some circulation, but it does look like it might be going a little more linear or more of a damaging wind threat, which would certainly be a good thing here. So we want to continue to watch that. But all these storms have the potential to produce large hail and even destructive hail in some cases. Getting a lot of reports of golf ball sized hail with this, so that'll certainly do some damage to a vehicle, no doubt.
And it looks like we have that rotation between Geneseo and Atkinson, likely about to cross over Interstate 80 onto Route 6. So again, we're not really looking at much in the way of any tight circulation in here. The rotation is very broad here. What we're looking at is the winds inside the storm. We call this velocity. So the winds that are going toward the radar site in Davenport, those are that's the area in green. The winds going away from the radar site are the areas in red. So we want to see a tight couplet together, which would indicate that rotation. And we're not quite seeing that tight couplet, but we do see maybe a little bit of broad rotation just south of Geneseo, right around Interstate 80. Right there around North 1800th Avenue and East 1500th Street. So again, this is a tornado warned storm here that goes until 4 o'clock here for portions of Henry County. And we're continuing with that tornado watch here for a good chunk of the TV6 viewing area. And as we mentioned earlier, as this cold front kind of moves eastward, our severe weather threat's going to come to an end. So Muscatine, Burlington, Mount Pleasant, Keokuk, you are in the clear. We still have that tornado watch in effect for the metro Quad Cities and points off to the east here until 8 o'clock. But again, this tornado watch tornado watch, not warning, this tornado watch until 8 o'clock will continue to get shaved away here as the storms move east and the cold front clears the area. So again, the tornado warning for portions of Henry County does go until 4 o'clock as we continue to get at least some broad signs of rotation within that storm. But we also continue with those severe thunderstorm warnings. We'll take you north to south here. We have this portion of Carroll and Whiteside County with a severe thunderstorm warning. Again, the main threats out of this are going to be quarter-size hail as well as 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And you see that threat tag of a tornado possible. So we'll kind of get closer here to give you some of the towns that are in the path of this. This storm is right over the Chadwick area. Lanark getting hammered with some heavy rain. The strongest part of the storm is moving in here as we speak. So again, this part of the line has the potential for 60-mile-per-hour winds. We also want to go south of Geneseo as we have southern Henry County in a separate warning for a severe thunderstorm right over Woodhall. Could be getting some hail as well as some very strong wind, and we're also watching for that potential of a tornado. Okay,
new update from our friends over at the Storm Prediction Center. They are saying that they are going to continue to watch this storm system, these complexes, and you know, the biggest concern for them is that as these continue to track to the east, the threat might increase because we are continuing to see a better environment, more what we call shear, which just means winds turning at different directions with height. So something that we want to continue to be concerned with. So downstream here, you folks in Bureau County, up towards eastern Whiteside County, and eventually kind of up the road here, all throughout the eastern part of the TV6 viewing area, heads up because this will continue to organize, something we want to continue to watch. Looks like we got a new severe thunderstorm warning, Kyle.
So it looks like this is going to be an extension on this tornado warning. This is for the potential of golf ball size hail as well as 60-mile-per-hour winds for portions of Bureau, Henry, and Whiteside County. So this includes Anawan, Hoople, up toward the Tampico area, New Bedford. So if you're in these areas, golf ball size hail is likely. And we actually have a picture of some of that hail that has fallen in this storm. This is out of Geneseo. Thanks so much to our viewers who have been sending in the photos here. This is that picture of the golf ball size hail. And again, we have a very unstable environment. So as these storms are growing, we're able to get this really large hail. So that's the kind of hail that you could expect if you live in Atkinson, up toward Hoople, and as well as New Bedford. So this is the same storm that we're keeping a close eye on for that potential of a tornado as that tornado warning continues until 4 o'clock. So I'll put a track here on the core of the storm. This will be in Hoople around 4:07, Tampico at 4:21, Deer Grove at 4:26, and the Walnut area right around 4:31. So that warning, that new severe thunderstorm warning does go until 4:15 for portions of Bureau, Henry, and Whiteside County, likely an extension to that tornado warning that we have going on right around the Geneseo area. So that tornado warning, by the way, continues until 4 o'clock. So we will be with you until at least 4 o'clock for this tornado warning. And if the conditions warrant for this to be extended, we will of course be on air with you. But it looks like that tornado threat is just going to be to the east of Geneseo, just north of Interstate 80, right around East 1900th Street.
I was just going to say, Kyle, looking at some other products here, and yeah, right just to the east of Geneseo, really starting to see that tighten up. And a new update here, kind of really that circulation really getting stronger there. So we want to continue to watch that here. There again, this severe thunderstorm warning that has been extended to include Anawan and Hoople, and then eventually again off into parts of here into Bureau County, northwestern Bureau County. We want to watch that, but also we still have circulation being indicated on radar very near Atkinson. So if you're in Atkinson right now, take shelter now. But the biggest thing too, I think right now, what we're going to see a lot of damage from is this hail.
Yeah.
We're getting still lots of reports of a golf ball sized hail in the Geneseo area. Also getting reports of maybe even a little bit bigger sized hail. Somebody said baseball sized hail just to the north of Geneseo as well. So continue to watch that, and again, we don't want to minimize here. The threat is still there for some tornadic activity, again, near the Atkinson area, just to the north of Interstate 80.
And again, this has had a history now of producing the golf ball size hail. So while we are very concerned about that tornado threat, we've not had any observations of it, but we have had some reports of anywhere from quarter to golf ball size hail in the Geneseo area. So just got another report about a minute ago of some quarter size hail in Geneseo. So the hail amounts will vary, but nonetheless, this storm has been indicative of producing that hail. And again, the potential of a tornado now just to the east of Geneseo. Again, nothing confirmed, no reports of damage, but we are very concerned between Geneseo and Atkinson for a tornado with that rotation right now near East 1900th Street. So again, we do have a history, as I mentioned, of this storm producing the hail. Right now, that hail core is right along Highway 6, Route 6, near Geneseo. And again, this really started producing hail out toward Orion. You know, we have another viewer photo for you of the hail that was in Orion. Looks like that's about quarter size hail. Again, if you have any reports, you can send those our way through our news app or our website, kwqc.com. We would love to pass those along, as long as you can do it safely. We don't want a picture of the tornado. We got storm chasers out there for that. We want you all to be safe. So again, that tornado warning does continue here for Henry County until 4 o'clock, and we continue that severe thunderstorm warning, that new one out for Bureau, Henry, and Whiteside County until 4:15. That's for considerable damage. We're talking that potential for up to golf ball size hail possible here. So if you're in the Hoople area, you're about to get pounded with this storm as it continues to move off to the east and northeast at about 40 miles per hour.
Yeah, and here's the thing with this storm, it's still a very strong and destructive storm with that hail. Again, folks, we got to watch this because we're talking golf ball sized hail, and we've had an array of hail reports. And you could see the core of it kind of went more north of Geneseo proper, so somewhere to watch there. But rotation continues. The thing is, they're going to expire this tornado warning for now, but we're still seeing some circulation. It's broad. It's not so much tight, you know, like we saw a couple weeks ago. You knew where those tornadoes were. But what we're seeing now, we could tell that, yeah, there's some circulation there, but it's broad. It's not as organized, and that's some good news for now. But we want to continue to watch this. That tornado warning continues here for parts of Henry County until 4 o'clock. Still includes the Geneseo area, but the threat is now for the tornado part is now to the east of Geneseo. Still Atkinson area, you should be in your shelters. And that does look a little ominous there as we got what we've got here. And what we're looking at when we show this, it looks like a Christmas tree, but what it is you got the greens represent winds moving towards the radar site in the Quad Cities. The reds are winds rushing out. So when we see this inflow, and then you got this red wind moving away from the radar right here, when you get those lighter colors, it means there's stronger winds starting to match up to each other. That indicates that we have circulation. That's what we're seeing here, and that's why that tornado warning continues here until 4 o'clock. So again, Atkinson on to the north right now. So again, along and north of I-80, that is the area of circulation. Here's the other thing, folks. Our spotters out there have given up on this because the area of circulation is wrapped up into this. You're not going to be able to see it. If there is a tornado there, it'll be on top of you by the time it hits you. It's going to be so wrapped in heavy rain and hail, there's nothing to see. So do not go out and try to chase this thing because, again, it could be wrapped in rain. So Hoople and eventually off towards the Walnut area here in northwestern Bureau County, up towards Tampico, Prophetstown. Heads up as this storm continues to track off to the northeast.
All right, so control room, just a heads up, we're about 6 minutes or so away from 4 o'clock. As Kyle mentioned, this tornado warning is going to be allowed to expire in Geneseo, but do not let your guard down because in portions of Henry, northwestern Bureau County, and southeastern Whiteside County, this storm is still producing the possibility of golf ball size hail. So we're going to continue on at the top of the hour with our 4 o'clock news. And of course, Kyle and I are going to continue to keep you updated, and we'll break in as warranted. But we're still seeing a little bit of broad rotation here in portions of Henry County. So we're going to keep a very close eye on this storm as we continue to see maybe signs of a little bit of rotation here right around the Atkinson area.
Road. Yeah.
So we need to watch this very carefully. Just because the tornado warning is being allowed to expire, this severe thunderstorm warning still has that tag of a tornado possible.
Right.
So, you know, as we've been seeing with this storm, it kind of cycles, maybe producing a little bit of that lower level rotation and then going up as well.
Let's, if you could, Kyle, let's go. We'll take a broad view here and kind of give everybody, we've been focused on this tornado warning here in Henry County. We've got a whole line of activity here from Savannah down through Clinton, again, down here in Henry County, all the way down to Knox County. So from Galesburg up to the Freeport area is where we have this, essentially this line of activity of all sorts of embedded junk in it. We've got hail reports down in the Galesburg area. Severe thunderstorm warning continues. Good news is Galesburg, you're out of the threat now. And once these storms pass through, I'd like to mention this as well. Clinton, Quad Cities, Aledo, Kirkwood, down towards Burlington, the threat is over. Severe weather threat is over for the night. This is it, folks. This is moving through, and once this moves through, the threat is over for you. So they're slowly starting to trim back that tornado watch as well as this line progresses through. And you can see that here. We've lost some Illinois counties here, Hancock, Henderson County, and the only Iowa counties left are Scott and then up towards Clinton County, and those are going to be allowed to, are going to be canceled here soon as well because the threat is over. So here we are with that line of activity. We continue. That tornado warning that you saw there is down in Fulton County outside of our viewing area, but we continue with this tornado warning here for Henry County until 4 o'clock. And we've got some circulation still being indicated.
And we just got it, Kyle, I don't mean to interrupt, but we have a new tornado warning. So we will continue here until about 4:45 for Carroll and Whiteside County. This has potential for not only a severe thunderstorm producing a tornado, but also the potential for 1.5 inches hail. So that is hail that is up to the size of ping pong balls. So this is right over the Morrison area, heading off to the east and northeast at about 40 miles per hour. So again, this storm capable of producing a tornado is right around the Morrison area, tracking off to the east at 40 miles per hour. So if you're in Linden, Morrison, Sterling Rock Falls, you need to be in your shelter place right now. We'll go ahead and get a look inside this storm to see where we have that rotation.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Over
that
Morrison,
is strong too.
Right there around Highway 30, pardon me. So just to the east of Morrison proper, that's where we have that rotation.
This is Highway 30 here. So the area of circulation is right there. This is the warning is north, along and north of I-88 right now. So this, again, what we show here, folks, this is the wind velocity. We don't show this all the time. What this is, it's showing which direction the winds are moving with inside the storm and how fast those winds are. Once we start to see these lighter reds, that indicates winds moving away from the radar site in Moline. The green is winds moving towards the radar. Right there, when you start to see them match up like that right along, again, Kyle, that was Highway 30, right?
Highway 30, yep.
That's Highway 30 right
Bishop
there.
Road.
And that is where, being as tight of a rotation as that is, there could be something on the ground there. That's probably, of all the storms we've seen today, this is certainly the strongest indication of a possible tornado we've seen. So just to the east of Morrison, that is where that threat is. And yeah, look at that thing really spike up here and continues on right there. So Highway 30, it's passing 30. It's probably, as fast as these storms are moving, folks, it's probably, by the time we get the new scans, probably somewhere up in this vicinity. So if we put a track on that, it might skim the northern part of Sterling, but still, Sterling, Rock Falls, you need to be in shelter. Here we go. Some of these communities, the Full Gospel Academy, Community General Hospital, Sterling here at 4:15. That's when this will be moving in. Again, very tight indication of circulation. It's north of Linden, north of the I-88 corridor right now, but right here, again, and there's some hail as well with this, so kind of a dual threat. Again, that is a concern right now. Just to the east of Morrison, good indication we could have a tornado there. So you folks over towards Sterling Rock Falls, northeastern Whiteside County, be in your shelters now. And that warning goes until 4:45. So we're going to stay with this, as that is not a good indication there, Kyle. And this is closer to that boundary, closer to that low pressure system. So makes sense that